McIver lifestyle. It says, what we do as a business, we look to develop products that exceed our customers' aspirations in relation to quality, colour, finish and budget requirements. Total flexibility is our offer, and that is what makes them unique. Weekly acquisitions of new products enable them to always make interesting products. So yeah, Cleveland McIver lifestyle. Your home is where the heart is. Let's just have a little look up here. So it's not a...
Right out of the gate, this confrontation jumps straight into a legal gray zone that sparks arguments worldwide. Airspace rights versus privacy expectations. One man says he's perfectly within the law. The business says he's invading their space. Who's right? Who's bluffing? And more importantly, what actually happens when someone insists on filming after being told not to? Stay with us, because this encounter escalates fast and the legal lines get tested in real time.
What products they do here at Cleveland McIver lifestyle, that's all.
What?
Just what products they do at Cleveland McIver lifestyle.
This is why you were filming?
Yeah, I'm just doing a little kind of quick film documentary, a little time documentary, or a little bit of a film on Cleveland McIver. Today, I'm just gonna...
Have you got a card or something that you can leave with us?
No, I'm not a business or anything like that. I'm just a private person, just doing my own kind of thing, if you know what I mean. So yeah, that's it really. Just gonna have a little film around. I'm gonna go head round the back and get some shots in around that side.
For what purpose?
Just for me. It's only personal, you know what I mean. I'm not gonna, you know what I mean. I'm not kind of a business or anything.
What's your? I'm just trying to understand what your interest is. It's unusual if somebody's filming the business that we kind of go, oh, what are they doing?
I know, yeah, I mean, I do, yeah, sometimes, yeah, it's a bit, people don't expect it, but yeah, I just take an interest in Cleveland McIver, and I'm just trying to get to the bottom of kind of what, if they've got any kind of branded products that people might know about, you know, the general public. No, it's just textiles, isn't it? So, yeah, what I've come here to do as well today, I'm going to get the aerial shots of the place. So I've got my drone here. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to take it over the building and get some shots from the air, zoom in on the bits that the public generally won't get to see. Right. Just have a general nosy.
I don't think we'd like that. I don't think we'd want you to do that.
Oh, that's a shame. I'm going to do it anyway, but
Notice how this starts calmly, almost casually. This is a classic auditing tactic. Establish a neutral tone, describe the location, and appear observational rather than confrontational. Legally speaking, filming a commercial property from a public vantage point is generally permitted, but socially, that's where friction begins. Businesses often equate cameras with risk, corporate espionage, harassment, or negative publicity. Question for you: if someone stood outside your workplace filming, even legally, would you feel comfortable or uneasy?
I'm going to do it anyway because I've travelled to Littleborough today.
Not to do it.
Yeah, that's the key word, asking it. But
I'll tell you not to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a request from the business, I'm asking you not to do it.
That's the thing. I've travelled too far really to kind of give up now. So I've come to Littleborough to get a little bit
Where do you come from?
I'd rather not say.
Okay.
So,
just sounds very suspicious. You won't tell me where you've come from. You've come a long way. You're going to do it anyway. I'm asking you if you wouldn't.
That's what I mean. If I go empty-handed now, I won't get the aerial shots that I need.
Yeah, I'd prefer you not to. All right, my love.
How are you doing?
You got a minute, Paul? Have you got a minute?
Got Paul now, haven't we? Is Paul coming for it?
No, I'd
Yeah.
prefer it if you didn't do any filming.
I know. Hi, Paul.
Just a gentleman wanted to do some filming and fly a drone and stuff.
I'm just gonna be quick. We're gonna fly the drone over. Just have a little bit of a nosy. I'm gonna have a bit of a zoom in on some of the interesting parts that the public generally don't get to see.
But it's private. We don't want the public to see it. It's a family-owned business, and that's why it's private.
Who's that? Who won't be?
The managing director won't be happy.
Oh, the managing director. I thought you said his name then. The managing director. He'll be fine, honestly.
No, he
No,
won't.
he won't. I promise you.
He won't.
That's a shame then.
This is the first real escalation point. The staff member asks about permission, perfectly reasonable from a personal standpoint. But legally, permission and preference are two different things. In most jurisdictions, you don't need consent to film a building from public property. The tension here comes from mismatched expectations. The staff member is thinking in terms of courtesy and privacy, while the auditor is thinking strictly in terms of legal allowance. That mismatch is often what turns simple encounters into confrontations.
You have to do it, and you've come a long way to do it, but you won't tell me why you have to do it or where you've come from.
Yeah, well, that's what you're just on my list. So I've come to Littleborough today to have a little film around, and this factory is one that I wanted to fly over and just kind of have a little nosy.
No.
Right. No, it's private.
I know you're saying no, but it's definitely going to happen.
Why? Are you police or something like that? Or you...
No, I'm not police. No. Like I say, I'm not a business or an organisation or anything like that. There's nothing iffy going on. It's just me having a little nosy, and
What purpose?
just for me, just literally for me.
But there's nothing. It's a private owned business, so I am.
I know, private, yeah. But the thing is,
Privately owned business.
what I'm trying to say is, the airspace above is not private.
No, I understand that, but you're using the airspace above it to look down on our private business.
Yeah, absolutely, and that is allowed. That's allowed. I believe.
I don't think
No,
it is.
you'd have to get. You'd have to.
I don't think it is. I think you need to ask permission.
Yeah, I mean,
Why-
like I say, if you go onto Google Maps and you go like across road from us, all the doors and windows are all black tape. You can only just see the outline of the house. And I went and asked them, and they said because they didn't want it on Google.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
I'm not Google though. I don't blank
but-
mine out.
but
I just straight
Google's
over
bigger than
and
you. And they turned around
Yeah.
and said no, Google Earth it was, and they didn't want anything, nothing at all on their house.
I think I probably.
You can't even, all you can see is just blank, just brick, and that's it, nothing else.
Yeah.
But no,
No, I'm going to do it anyway.
no, you're not. You can't. You're not allowed to.
We'll move you on.
there's no way to stop me or move me on.
You'll call the police.
Listen closely to that wording. I have to get those shots. That phrase changes the entire tone. What could have stayed a casual interaction now sounds like a mission. Even if he means it casually, the language signals determination and inevitability, which can make staff feel pressured or threatened. Legally, he may still be within his rights, but socially, he's losing cooperation fast. Do you think phrasing like that escalates situations unnecessarily, or is it just honesty about his intentions?
I am definitely going to do it.
Right,
Don't call the
well,
police
I'm
though.
just going to ring the police now then.
Don't call the police. Come on, it's just it's not illegal, is it? It's not.
Well, I believe it is. I'm asking you nicely not to.
That I know what you're saying. We keep coming down to this.
If you continue to film, I will call the police.
When you call the police, what are you going to tell them?
GDPR regulations, you're filming a private business. You
GDPR.
have no interest in it being filmed.
Can I just ask? Can I just say, I'm not covered by GDPR personally because
If
I
you're filming, you will be.
yeah, no, that's the video that I make about the place would be kind of covered under artistic journalistic exemption, if you know what I mean. So I'm not covered by GDPR.
Okay.
That's it.
What artistic journalistic reason are you filming the business for them?
Like I said, just for my own personal reason. I'd rather not get into the details and stuff. I'm kind of getting behind now. I need to get the
Alright,
drone
yeah,
up and.
No, that's absolutely fine. If you continue, I will call the police. That's all I'm saying to you. We don't want the business to be filmed. If you continue to film, I will call the police.
Oh, go on.
I've asked you not to,
Yeah.
but you're telling me you're still going to go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
I've asked you nicely not to,
Yeah.
and you're telling me you are going to do it anyway. So
Here we hit a very common misunderstanding, comparing live filming to mapping services. Many people assume if they can request blurring on map imagery, they can demand the same from anyone with a camera. But those are completely different legal frameworks. Mapping companies operate under corporate policy and data protection agreements, not personal filming law. The staff's argument sounds logical, but legally, it doesn't actually restrict him. This is a textbook example of how everyday assumptions about privacy don't always match real statutes.
Trouble. Well, they might.
which leads me down the road of you shouldn't be doing it. You know it's illegal, so you shouldn't be doing
No,
it.
no, no. The police sometimes don't know it's not
Well, I'll
illegal.
tell you what, you crack on, I'll call the police and we'll see how we get on.
Okay, well I'll be around there if you need me. I'm going to take the drone over now. Thank you.
I am asking you not to take the drone over.
Why is that? What, have you got something? Let's see.
No, but it's private. It's a privately owned business.
Well,
Would you like a stranger flying a drone over your property?
I don't think. I think it's different for properties and businesses. It's different. The rules are different.
Privately owned business. We're not a public, not listed.
Yeah. Well.
It's a privately owned, family-run business. So I would ask you not to film.
Yeah, and like I said, the key word is ask. So I am going to go now and take off and get the images that I need. Just before you go, please. Before I get the. All right, I'm going to ask you for one interesting fact. Just one interesting fact. Any? Oh no! Come on. There we go. So yeah, that's Cleveland McIver lifestyle, and they're heading in to ring the police.
That line is fascinating because it reveals awareness of enforcement timing. He's basically saying, even if police are called, I'll be finished before they arrive. That's not a legal defense, it's a strategic calculation. And it raises an interesting issue. Legality doesn't always prevent conflict. Sometimes it just shapes how people navigate it. From a risk standpoint, he's gambling that officers won't intervene quickly or decisively. Would you take that gamble, or would you avoid the confrontation altogether?
Cleveland McIver, just doing a quick tour of the building on the grounds.
For what?
Just for me, just for my own personal use.
What?
Like I said, just for me. I'd rather not get into it all. I'm just walking out, just doing a bit of filming, just having a bit of a nosy really, getting the drone over, getting some zoomed in on some close-ups, and
There's no drone going on.
say again, sir.
There's no drone going on.
I'm definitely going to fly the drone today.
You want me to?
Why?
I don't stop you.
Why? How will you stop me?
Because I don't want you doing it.
I know, but how would you
I don't
stop
know
me?
what you're filming it for.
Say again,
I
sir.
don't know what you're filming it for.
Well, I'm studying public now, aren't I? So I'm just walking around the outside, and then I'm just going to fly over into the airspace.
Yeah,
so
I can do it. I can do this. I can do
Yeah.
that. I'm asking you not to do it.
I know you're asking. That's the key word though, asking it. You're asking.
I've got a duty of care for all them people and I don't know what you're filming it for.
Come on, don't get mad. It's, you know what I mean? It's just,
If you want to film me, you can film me.
no, I'm not. It's just that you've come up to me. That's all I do. I never stop the camera rolling, and that's
You're
only
walking
because
around, randomly filming away around.
I've come to Littleborough today. I explained I've come to Littleborough today to fly over some local factories to just get some drone shots, some aerial shots.
What
That's
you
it.
should be doing really is contacting these businesses, asking if they don't mind you doing it.
I don't normally work that way because it's kind of off the bat. So
I
when
won't say it's work.
I said I don't work that way. I'm not saying it is work.
I won't say it's work.
Alright, well, that's not my method then. I literally just come in, do what I need to do, and then just get out of here. You know what I mean? That's no problem.
The manager's concern about confidential contracts is understandable from a business perspective, but legally it doesn't impose obligations on strangers. Non-disclosure agreements bind the parties who sign them, not random members of the public. This is a critical distinction. The law separates internal corporate privacy from public space visibility. The moment something is visible from a law...
Fly over, get the aerial shots, and then I'm out of your hair, you
For
know.
what? That's what I don't understand. For what? I
Just
mean,
for me, I'd rather not get into it, you know. I'd rather not go into detail and stuff. I'm kind of running behind a little bit now. Anyway, I've got to get up, get across, right to the other side. Are you getting dripped on there by that tree?
yeah, but running behind on what?
The
tight schedule.
Yeah, on a little bit of a time schedule. So I've got a couple of other places where I want to go over, get some lovely aerial shots, and then that's it really. Just get out of here.
But there might be stuff in the factories that people don't want to film. There might be sensitive information.
Well, that's even better. If I get to see something from the air that I'm not meant to see, that makes it even more exciting, doesn't
There's
it?
nothing to hide, but what I'm saying is there might be things in there that factories, not necessarily ours, but other factories, don't want you to see. You might have contracts with clients that people don't want to be filmed.
No, that's right, isn't it? Yeah, it happens, doesn't it, sometimes? I've seen secret things from the air before that people didn't want me to see.
You're not reasoning, mate. I'll just get all of involved. Okay, you crack on, do what you want to do. Alright, that's all.
What are you doing, sir? You calling the police? Yeah. Oh, come on, don't do that.
You're not telling me at any point what you're doing it for.
I don't really need to though, do I? I didn't come to talk to you. I didn't come. Yeah.
Not just randomly go around filming places.
Why?
Because nobody knows what you're using it for.
I know, but that's not a reason, is it? You can't.
If people aren't comfortable with it, I don't want you doing it. Like I say, the duty of care for everybody here, you've got to stop doing it.
Well, fortunately, you don't rule the world. Yeah. Alright. Oh no, I ain't got it up yet. I know. What I'm gonna do is take it off from public in a bit. I'm literally just got to get down to that end and have a quick look down there, do the ground, because I'm covering the ground, you know, around the building. When I get to end there, I'm just gonna come back up.
What's actually for? I don't get what it's for.
Just for me, really. I mean, I don't normally go into detail. I literally just come quick whistle stop tour all the way around bottom, get it on the ground, go up in air, fly over, get some of the great shots, and then that's it, really.
Are you doing next door as well?
Where's next door? What's that next door? What is it?
It's just like a big nursing home, because that's just recently been built.
Alright, yeah, that's
Yeah,
alright.
so that wouldn't have been on your laptop.
Well, it looks like a residential place, does that? That's why I've left that one out.
No, that's not. It's a business.
Is it? It's a business. Well, all it is like I came to Littleborough. I've pinpointed a couple of places where I wanted to do factory-wise, and McIver. I've already done them. I've already done them on the way down. I'd rather not say, but I've already got all them shots. Literally, this is my second to the last one to do. Literally just going to fly over, get some of the shots, come jump back in car and just disappear.
All right, you've drove here.
Yeah.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
So that's what you do all day. You film buildings.
No, not all day. No, just now and again. What I'll do is I just literally just plan when I've got a bit of time. Just plan a little route out. Come on, fly over. Just get the aerial shots, get the ground shots, and then that's it, really. Nothing to it.
After all the warnings and threats, the auditor simply says, time to fly. This entire audit teaches 3 key things. First, filming from a public space is generally lawful, even if the subject is a private business. Second, while staff can express their wishes, their preference does not create a law. Third, drone flights are governed by Civil Aviation Authority rules, which are a separate matter from the right to film. What did you think of the staff's persistent, team-based approach? Let us know in the comments and subscribe for more calm, forensic analysis. This video is educational, not legal advice. Always check local laws. Peace out.
This case perfectly illustrates the clash between legal rights and personal expectations. The staff believed they were protecting private property, while the filmer relied on public space filming principles and aviation rules. No arrests, no charges, just a tense standoff driven by misunderstanding and conflicting assumptions about the law. Encounters like this show why knowing the difference between criminal violations, civil issues, and personal preferences matters. If you found this case as fascinating as we did, make sure to hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more jaw-dropping courtroom and confrontation breakdowns.